Hello and welcome back to the Football Babble. Our third show, Jake.
That's right.
Going well. Thanks for all the responses and the likes and the shares and the comments. We enjoy doing it, so keep them coming. It's transfer deadline day. We're not doing. A lot of people seem to be doing sort of a live show on following transfer deadline, but we're not going to do that because it's already covered. We're going to just continue on with our own little show and talk a little bit about what happened last Sunday. I know Jake wants to get into it. Talk a little bit about the transfers that have happened. We've got Sky Sports on in the background here on mute, so we're seeing what's coming through. And then obviously there's an international week on, which is quite important. I'm going to Northern Ireland Czech Republic game Monday night, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, where do you want to start, Jake? Do you want to get Liverpool v Arsenal out of the way first? You want to go through it? It'll not be a long one anyway.
We'll go with that.
Well, how do you think that? What did you make of that then on Sunday?
Well, to be honest, you don't mind. You don't mind if you've played well and you've been unfortunate and you've lost a game, but to go out, play the way that Arsenal did, and lose 4-0 is very difficult to take. And it seems that there are a number of players at Arsenal that either aren't up for it, they aren't playing for Arsene Wenger, and yet none of these players seem to be moved on today. One of them being Sanchez, who seemed just completely exasperated on Sunday. So it's disappointing.
I thought, without coming too fast, I thought Liverpool was superb.
Liverpool,
I thought Arsenal were poor in equal measure.
Yeah. Liverpool were superb, but Arsenal, the first goal, Arsenal, Xhaka, Petr Cech give the ball to Xhaka. Xhaka put a ball out to Hector Bellerin, who was playing on the left side of the defence. Now that's not his natural side. Arsenal were trying to accommodate Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, obviously because he's going into the last year of his contract. Arsene Wenger has wanted to keep him.
Yeah.
You know, he has made that clear that he wanted to keep him. They offered him a deal worth £180,000, and they bent over backwards to try and accommodate him because he, I suppose, fitted in better on the right hand side, and they moved Bellerin to suit that. Now Bellerin was playing on an unnatural side, and naturally for the first goal was caught out. The ball was played to him, and he couldn't, I suppose, just adapt to take it under control. No excuses for the third goal though. He was completely.
Well, we'll talk about the first goal first. Obviously, it was highlighted. Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher and Souness and Henry all tore into Chamberlain and Ramsey because they weren't paying attention on the ball, and it's very it's kids do that, and you can understand. I'm not going to go into that bit because that's been talked about, but what I will just sort of say is, even though they did do that and they left, especially Chamberlain was playing out right wing back, and he left Rob Holding on his own. Holding then doesn't he just sort of. He goes through the moment as well. It's almost like he's going through the motions too. Right. That goal, he lets Joe Gomez. I seen another angle of the goal last night, and it's behind Joe Gomez. The ball isn't whipped in. It's not thumped in. It's literally just chipped in, floated in. Firmino's at the tallest centre half.
The whole point of playing the back three was to solidify the centre of the defence, and yet Firmino, who's not a tall player, ghosted in and scored one of the easier goals that he'll score. There's no challenge on him. No. There's nobody challenged him. So what is the point of playing a back three if your players are not going to get into the right positions, and defend simple crosses? You say it wasn't whipped. The ball was just nicely glided in. It could have been defended, and it wasn't.
Has Mustafi left yet?
No, Mustafi hasn't left, but there seems to be major issues. They're signed last year for 35 million, and yet it seems like either the player isn't up for it at Arsenal, he's not settled in, or else Arsene Wenger doesn't like him. But going on recent signings, there's only one group of people to look at, and it's not the players on the pitch. In terms of the signings made, it's Arsene Wenger, Stan Kroenke, even Gazidis, these boys who are making the decisions regarding the transfers. And if you look at the recent signings, Gabriel, who's gone to Valencia, for 10 million. Cech, who's still there. El Nene, Xhaka, who was absolutely diabolical on Sunday, who provided no, I suppose, discipline.
I like Aaron Ramsey. Aaron Ramsey's position is not holding midfield. He excels for Wales when he plays the number 10 position.
That's it. And like I thought Thierry Henry made a very interesting point. He said that he had recently been talking to Arsene Wenger, and Arsene was saying that he wants Aaron to be that sort of box-to-box midfielder. But at the same time, you know, Arsenal need discipline in the middle of the park. Yeah. And against Liverpool at Anfield, you need to have the know-how to be able to sit in and just weather the storm for a while and take your chances when they come.
Like the third goal, the second goal, Xhaka loses the ball. Sanchez loses the ball. Gino Allen gets it. He skips past Xhaka and he's fouled with Xhaka. But the ball played on, and the ball's given to Emre Can, and I was watching it and screaming at the TV. Give it to Firmino. There was nobody near him. And as soon as Firmino gets it, because you know where he's going farther out to Mane, and there's nobody near him. And it's only like 3 passes. And this is what I was telling you what happened with Stoke. Remember, there were only like 2 or 3 passes, and Jesse scored. The same thing happened again. I really like Arsene Wenger, and Steve Bold was obviously a brilliant defender, and he's coming in. How, like, I don't understand, like, how he hasn't seen this happen, and how he went with deciding to go with 3 at the back, as you said. He also decided to put Bellerin at wing back, which was just not going to work. Like, I don't know.
Left wing back.
Left wing back.
You know, at the end of the day, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is not a natural defender. He finished last season well playing at wing back.
Yeah.
But Bellerin is a right back by trade, right wing back, because he's got the pace to get up and down. His end product wouldn't be brilliant, but at the same time he should be playing on his natural side, given that he is the defender. They brought in Kolasinac this year, who's a left back, left wing back, and he didn't start.
And then Lacazette came on and played. See when Lacazette came on and played out wide, to me that stunk of, and look, that might be wrong here, it stunk of Arsenal going, Joe Gomez is playing right back, he's young, you'll be able to get at him. And it's so suited Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez growing into the game because he didn't give Sanchez a sniff. He was sorted. And for the first 5-10 minutes of the second half now, Arsenal were right in Liverpool's half, and I thought, they might make a goal here. Ozil had gone into the number 10 position more, and he's more centrally, and there's little touches and stuff, and he thought something might happen here. It didn't. Liverpool broke and scored. Bellerin, it's just unlucky. Like it's an unlucky thing that happened.
The touch should be better.
It should be better, but like. Then Salah just pounces on him, and that's it. You know what I mean? I know you're coming from, but it'll happen.
The disappointing thing is to spend 52 million or around that figure on Lacazette, who is a goal scorer.
Yeah.
And then to bring him on, not start him.
No.
And to bring him on the left side of the attack. Now, Lacazette, I'm sure he's absolutely devastated that he wasn't started.
Yeah.
Because, as I said last week, Welbeck, you cannot fault his energy. But at the same time, he had a great chance before Liverpool scored.
He did.
Lacazette would have scored it. I know it's easy.
You said that to me on last week's show, that Welbeck will get in, but he'll miss chances. Yeah. And actually, when he missed that chance, I was going to text you, I didn't want to text you in the game. That's the chance Lacazette probably would have buried.
You know, and those are the chances that Arsenal, away from home at Anfield, need to be taken. Like, Arsenal had 8 shots, 0 on target.
Yeah.
So I know, as well as Liverpool played, they were not tested at the back by Arsenal.
No.
But Philip, in order to test a team, in order to, as a supporter, build some possession, you need to have a strong deep line midfield who are willing to take the ball, to give the ball under pressure, and to start things off. And it just didn't seem to be happening.
I said the other night as well, I don't know if I said it on our video, but I definitely did say to you that I don't think Arsenal will go and be as naive as Hoffenheim were and just have nothing to shore up in the middle and also just play such a high line. Like that third goal we've already talked about, he gets picked almost in his own in our half, and then there's nobody behind him. Bums Salah's away, and then Mane actually runs pretty clever. He runs across 2 defenders. He manages to not touch them. He doesn't obstruct. He just cuts off their line. But yeah, a lot of people are saying Liverpool weren't tested and their defence wasn't tested, but what people aren't, they're normally, when they talk about Liverpool's defence, I think that we leak goals and such. Now the last 9 Premier League games have kept 7 clean sheets. That isn't just down to the back 4 being able to head clear things. See the midfield shape now. We have those 3 boys in midfield, and Oxlade-Chamberlain's going to come in now to that, and Alana's going to come back, and it looks like we're going to keep Coutinho, but the Spanish think doesn't close till tomorrow night, so we'll hold off on that. But the midfield shape is a lot more solid, and then that gives the defence a bit of a basis then, a lot more solid, and that's what worked, and it just was completely missing, as you said.
That's right. Arsenal didn't have the opportunity to challenge your defences, really, and I agree with that. Your midfield was by far superior, and that's not only because they're so familiar with one another, they're also so disciplined, they're so quick to close down.
And it looks like they were coached to do that.
Yes.
Whereas Arsenal don't look coached at the minute.
Yeah.
Do you know? And it's Arsene Wenger. Like, I know who I'm slagging me top over there. Sorry, I know who I'm slating there. It is Arsene Wenger, and he's one of the greatest coaches we've ever seen. But there does massively look at. I texted and said I was actually frustrated at Arsenal, and it sounds patronising. It's not. I was frustrated watching them when we were 4-0 up, and I was thinking, what is going on with that football club?
What I'd just like to know is why against the likes of Liverpool did he not play El Nene and Xhaka? Now I know they played against Leicester, of course, but El Nene, Xhaka and Ramsey in front of them just to provide a little bit more solidity to the midfield. But then again, it all comes down to discipline. It all comes down to coaching. If Arsene Wenger is expecting Ramsey to bomb forward and to leave his deep line midfield role, he's doing that. It's Arsene Wenger that needs to be questioned on those tactics, as you say. What is being done on the coaching field? What are they doing at training to try and fix these problems? These are age-old problems. These are problems that have been constantly reoccurring, and they have never been, I suppose, fully corrected. They brought Gabriel in as a defender. They brought Mustafi in, and these signings, Gabriel I think cost 16 to 18 million. Mustafi cost 35 million. They haven't worked out.
No.
They haven't worked out. Today, I know transfer deadline day, Arsenal, I believe, had a bid rejected they put a bid in of 92 million for Thomas Lemar. This was a player that they refused to spend 46 million on.
Yeah.
In July, they said he wasn't worth more than that.
And
so what changes?
In the same week, they also had refused in July to sell Kieran Gibbs for 7 million, but they ended up selling him for 7 million.
Yeah.
And then I know what you mean. I don't know.
There are major question marks to be asked about the top brass at Arsenal, and I notice a lot more of the old guard, Martin Keown, Ian Wright, who would have been loyal Arsenal supporters, who are loyal Arsenal supporters and loyal Arsene Wenger supporters. Even Thierry Henry, who said on Sunday after the game that he had to turn his back, but that's probably the second time he's turned his back on Arsenal. So these are major players, major people that have a lot of respect for Arsenal and now are starting to ask questions.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see. However, the little bit of hope that there is for Arsenal is that they need to do what Chelsea did last year. Remember Chelsea coming to the Emirates at the start of the season and Arsenal obliterating them basically. They were 3-0 up at half time. And look what happened. Chelsea won the league. Am I saying that Arsenal are going to win the league?
No, but you're saying Arsenal should be looking and thinking, well, if,
there are signs, and they should be able to look at that and say, why can't we do that? There's major pressure on Arsene Wenger at the moment. Yeah. Major pressure. Now, I believe tonight that he is working for, as he does, for an overseas
French
television
TV
station, and he's as a commentator and on the France-Netherlands game.
You'd hope he'd be firing Lamar into the back of his car. And
you'd be hoping that he would be putting his eggs in other baskets.
Right.
The only thing clear about Sunday, actually, what I mean to say is that at least Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain has already made his Liverpool debut.
Boom! And I came in on his horse and Jake wasn't happy. We'll talk about transfers when we come back in just a minute. Welcome back to the Football Babble. Sorry, I just knocked the camera. I think it's at an angle now, but there you go. I don't really care. Jake's just pointing out that there's been tedious right word? Your teacher's at the right word? Links. For Arsenal to maybe signing Rabiot from PSG. That's something you should probably do with in midfield.
Take Draxler as well.
You take Draxler as well. And sure, if they're firing out loans, you could take Mbappe for a couple of months until he gets himself settled.
There's just under 3 hours left in the market now, and of the transfer market, and I wouldn't be surprised if Alexis Sanchez goes.
Whoa, okay.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Did Arsenal sign Ozil really late on in the transfer
They did,
window?
and they also signed Andrea Arshavin, a blast in the past. I think that
I
was
don't
late
like him.
in
He
the
scored 4 against us on
January transfer window. I think it's deadline day in the January transfer window.
As it is deadline day, we're going to talk a little bit about transfers. We'll get we'll get Oxlade-Chamberlain out of the overload first. We were texting obviously about this and stuff, and we have a mates group. We're all talking about football transfers, and we've been saying, Jake had asked me if I wanted Oxlade-Chamberlain. This was during the start of the weekend. As my stance still the same, I was like, I don't know, like, to be honest. I would take him if we got him, but if we didn't get him, I wouldn't lose sleep over it. Certainly not a Chelsea fan that we know, he was sort of the same. There is a lot of potential in there with Oxlade-Chamberlain. That's what us Liverpool fans will be hoping. Kloppo, who seems to love him. Talked about him before. I heard Raphael Honigstein talking about him today, that Arsenal played Dortmund, I believe, in the Champions League a couple of years ago.
That's right.
And Chamberlain came on in Dortmund and changed the game. And when he played in the home game, he was amazing as well. I think that sort of stuck with Klopp. So yeah, Liverpool have got him. He's a red, as I am with all Liverpool players when they come in. And sorry for sounding cheesy, I just love them because as soon as they wear red, that'll do me. Are you happy enough that he's gone? Or are you like, some Arsenal fans are really happy, some are a bit like, we've let a good talent go there?
Well, you know, I suppose the picture that's been circulating the web, Twitter, etc. over the last few days is that picture a few years ago when all of these players signed their new contracts.
Yeah,
Jack
so
Wilshere, Carl
Jenkins,
Gibbs,
Ramsey
and Chamberlain. And Arsene Wenger only last week saying that he wants to build his team around the likes of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, offers him more money in a new deal, and yet the player decides to leave. Now, of course, this player, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, obviously just wants a new challenge. He believes that his potential will be fulfilled at Anfield. And Klopp, you have to admit, is a manager who does bring out the best in young talent. For example, if you look at Marco Reus at Borussia Dortmund, alongside other players, and he got the best out of Götze, exactly, you know. I think that it's a decent signing in terms of a squad player for Liverpool. Will he challenge their midfield? Because that's where he wants to play as. That's why he turned down Chelsea. Going by their performance on Sunday, I doubt it. However, if it's to bring him on to change the game with pace through the middle, as you say, that might be what Klopp's interested in, given his performance in Dortmund a few seasons ago, then he's a good signing because he does have that bit of dynamism.
Yeah.
However, his end product is totally atrocious.
His finishing?
Yeah. His finishing, I suppose some people...
9 goals or something he scored, isn't it? Or something?
Some people will be... oh, it's slightly more than that now. Last season.
Oh, right, sorry.
Yeah. He has scored 4 less goals than Thomas Vermaelen scored for Arsenal, and Thomas Vermaelen scored those in 20 fewer appearances. Now Thomas Vermaelen was the centre half.
Yeah.
Cracking left foot, of course, but centre half. Another thing, if he is brought in to create chances, Ozil once created more chances across 3 matches, consecutive matches, than Oxlade-Chamberlain has created in his entire Arsenal career. So there are major improvements to be made. The player's 23, 24 maybe now.
Maybe 24,
24. And, you know, he has plenty of potential. Plenty of potential. Like all these English players, young English players, plenty of potential, big fees. It'll be interesting.
Plus, they all seem to want to play centre mid.
Yeah.
Don't they?
That's right.
They all seem to want to just be centre mids. Yeah, like, he does have bagging potential. What I will say about Oxlade-Chamberlain, and I think Klopp will probably nail it with him, is what he'll do in a game is he'll do some things that are absolutely amazing, some tricks or something, or skill or something, and then he'll keep trying it. Do you know what I mean? Instead of trying something else, he'll sort of, I've done that and that was amazing, I'm going to keep doing it again. Or he has to then do something that's similar amazing instead of just being a little bit more simple. I think Kloppo will get that out of him. I think what's happened is that I don't think there's been a fallout at Arsenal with Arsene Wenger. I think what's happened is Oxlade-Chamberlain has just felt stale at Arsenal, and he's felt, I'm playing right wing back now, I'm not getting a chance in midfield. Liverpool have come in, he's obviously seen what Klopp was doing at Liverpool. He's thought, I'll go give that a go. I think that's all that's happened. I don't. He turned down an extra 100,000 a week to go and play at Chelsea.
Right, Chelsea, we'll talk about that, but
they're
having
champions.
major problems. They're having major problems.
Huge.
Fernando Llorente. Chelsea wanted to be kept informed of all sort of what was going on with Fernando Llorente, and he has ended up with Tottenham Hotspur. You know.
I wonder if Paul Clement cut ties with Ancelotti. I wonder if that was a bit sour.
Why?
Because he's Swansea manager and he wanted all everything known, and he's let him go to Spurs instead. You never know. Football is a strange and muddy place, like.
But remember, Carlo Ancelotti loaned Renato Sanchez to Swansea.
Yes, but what? Oh, sorry, you picked me up wrong. Remember, Ancelotti was cut from Chelsea.
Yes, and Paul Clement. Yeah,
I wonder if Paul Clement's gone. No, you're not getting them.
Yeah, we'll just
that sort of
go
way.
to Tottenham. Yeah,
because football's a dirty.
It could be. The thing that really gets on my nerves, Tottenham have also signed or in the process.
Serge Aurier,
fantastic player.
Bit of a lunatic.
Yeah, bit of a lunatic. Now, those two signings, they've also signed another.
Signed two centre halves.
Two centre halves.
Juan Foyth from Argentina and Davison Sanchez from
Ajax. 4 players, big fees, and yet they're building a new stadium. Now, this is a club not as big as Arsenal.
No.
Doesn't have the same, I suppose, worldwide prowess in terms of fan bases in different parts of the world. Yet they can continue to spend big on transfers. The reason that Arsenal fans were told for so many years that they couldn't compete in the transfer market was because they were building a new stadium. Tottenham are doing it, and they're still spending money. So what is happening?
When I seen today, and I think it was today or yesterday, we were talking that Arsenal had no money to buy these players.
Yeah, that came out from David Ornstein.
Yeah.
From
BBC. One of the BBC, and he's quite reliable. It just seems Everton have signed Nikola Vlasic, the striker, so the Blues have got themselves a striker in to help with Rooney. So
he must have impressed for Split in the Europa League qualifiers.
Must have. So yes, I think, and this is me being a bit maybe overcritical or a bit cynical. I think Arsenal fired in that supposed 92 million bid for what do you call him? Lamar, but had no intention of following through with. I think, and I feel that sometimes Liverpool have done this as well. My own club, where they put in a big bid for someone,
knowing that it's not
going to come off. But the fans are like, oh, we do have the money then. We do have the money. We just couldn't get the player. Didn't want to come to us.
Where is the money going at Arsenal? Where's the money going? They have a net profit on this transfer window, okay, of around 40 million. Remember, they sold a number of young players, Gabriel as well, Kieran Gibbs. They've sold Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. You know, where is the money going to? Because we were led to believe that the majority of the stadium had been paid off. Okay, they've got a state-of-the-art training complex.
Yeah.
So where's the money? You know, are even Gazidis and Stan Kroenke lining their own pockets with Arsene Wenger getting big bonuses?
Was Stan Kroenke building a new stadium in LA as well for the LA Rams?
That's right.
I wonder what's going on with that, like, but.
You know,
so at the minute, Arsenal haven't brought.
And also another interesting point there, just in Arsenal, before we maybe conclude on them, is that Alisher Usmanov, who's one of the major shareholders, but not given a place on the board for fear that he might
go a bit mad.
For fear that he might, I suppose, stamp on anyone's toes or break anyone's nails around the table, you know, because they're all so nice. And Arsenal, he is talking about investing in Everton.
Yeah, that link, I've seen that link before, right?
Yeah. So
that would annoy you even more.
And Mashuri's the owner of Everton now. Yeah. They're obviously good, close business colleagues. That would annoy me, because here's a man who wants to spend money. I do not want to divorce with the values of Arsenal Football Club.
No, you don't want a PSG.
No,
nobody. I don't.
When a country owns a football club.
No.
But at the same time, you want to see them bring in players. However, will it even matter? Arsenal continuing to be linked with forward players when, in all truth, the weakness lies in midfield.
Yeah.
You know, to be honest, I would have taken Gregor Strakowiak, who signed for West Bromwich Albion
on loan.
I would have signed him.
The only thing that would have put me off him from a Liverpool point of view, maybe an Arsenal point of view, is the fact that he hasn't played for so long. But so you just want to kind of get up to speed. So he's gone to West Brom. does really well there, and then Arsenal can come
Will
in for him,
he
but
be a key signing for West Brom come the end of the season?
if he plays like he
People
did
look
at
back?
Sevilla, then yeah.
Yeah. Will Oxlade-Chamberlain be a key signing for Liverpool?
Who knows?
No.
Who knows?
Not this season. Not this season.
We'll have to wait and see. I don't know. Liverpool have had if you're on social media and on Twitter and you know Liverpool fans, you'll see that we have an absolutely mental fan base, and our fan base, before we come on this, we're going absolutely buck daft, and Jake's just going on Twitter now because it looks like we're not going to get Virgil van Dijk. I'd actually received a text this morning from a friend, and I won't name him because it'll give him away, and I'll not say where he's based either because it'll give it away. He's based in Liverpool. He texted me this morning and said that Virgil van Dijk is done at Anfield. Yeah. And he said he had no reason to ever text me about something like that before because he never has done. And I don't think he was bullshitting me. I just think someone was telling him this. So hopefully his information is ready. But as it stands, they haven't signed Virgil van Dijk. It looks like they're not going to sign Virgil van Dijk. I don't personally think they will sign Virgil van Dijk. Liverpool's fan base has gone buck daft. We've got Oxlade-Chamberlain in, grand. We've got Salah in. He was one of our main targets. We've got Naby Keita in, which is a brilliant deal.
Brilliant deal, bringing him in next summer. Fantastic player. He's going to get another year of good football at RB Leipzig.
His stock will only rise, his value will only rise. Liverpool won't have to pay any more for him. Brilliant deal. Yeah. Our three main targets were Van Dijk, Keita, Salah. We've got two. Looks like we're not going to get the third one. It's not that bad a window really, but there'll be people who'll go buck daft. We've got Robertson in, we've got Solanke in, and we've let Sacco go for 26 million.
Yeah.
Liverpool are probably going to end up with a net spend and end up in profit at some point here, which will send our fans even more mad. But I think Liverpool have had a decent enough window.
And they've got roughly 24 million in for Mamadou Sakho, who's gone to Crystal Palace. The only thing about that is, I think he would have been a good option for Liverpool. Although he hasn't done it for them, he did it when he went to Crystal Palace.
Sakho is a good player, but he constantly pissed about Liverpool. He messed about with the drugs thing, and he was told not to take those fat burners, but he did. Then when he went on tour, he was told to be on time at a meeting, he wasn't. He was told to be on time for training or something, he wasn't. Then he pissed Klopp off during a video that the club were recording, and then when he's at meetings he was just being rowdy. He was being a tube. So
he was upsetting the whole team.
And that's why Liverpool got rid of him. But I think Liverpool's window's been grand.
I'm just a reliable source here on Twitter, if that's such a thing, if that exists. Breaking news coming in that Arsenal are attempting to seal a last minute deal for Julian Draxler.
Would you be happy with that?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Even though they don't really need another attacking player.
As I said earlier,
he's top notch.
If they were in for Lamar earlier and we were texting, I said Arsenal need this as a boost.
Yeah.
And that could be a big boost for them. Now, the midfield is still going to need work done. Those are the players you have, so you're going to have to work on getting the shape. But that's a big boost, and he's a very, very good footballer. Julian Draxler's a very good
he's a quality footballer. He's not going to get much time at Paris Saint-Germain with Neymar and now
you would imagine
Mbappe
Ozil probably booted. I would take Ozil out of that team and go with Sanchez, Lacazette.
The thing about Ozil is he gets so much hard, and I suppose he gets so much bad publicity because people look at him and say he's not interested. This is a player who's made Yogi Love's team without a question.
Oh, yeah, definitely, but I just don't think he's informative in it. That's why I would get rid of him.
Yeah.
I'm not get rid of him and put him on the bench. He wouldn't start for me.
But a player who is world class, and that's what Ozil is, can change.
He can
do something.
But maybe a wee bit in the bench might kick him into that mode that because when he's playing for Germany,
we're far enough behind Liverpool already. But stop trying to throw in these dirty tactics.
Anyway, we will because the video obviously after 15 or something minutes it just goes mad. So we'll be back in 2 seconds and we'll do a little bit more transfers, and then it's international week, so we'll get chatting into that. We're back again. I'm gonna buy a camera that means that we can just record this constantly and not have to stop it, like, because my fiance keeps telling me off. Yes, a couple more transfers. Chelsea have done. They did their bit. They got Rudiger in, they got Morata in, 2 good deals. Then they let 300 players leave.
That's right.
They fell out with Costa.
That's right.
They couldn't get, as we said, Oxlade-Chamberlain. They couldn't get Llorente.
And now they've signed Sapa Costa.
Sapa Costa, a fullback, a big tall fullback as well.
Tall fullback.
They're linked with Johnny Drinkwater.
Yeah, and there's a lot of talk on Twitter that deal might go through, and of course there's still over 2.5 hours left here, so
plenty of time
for Danny to move to Chelsea. But you know, it seems like they're panicking.
Yeah, and being linked with Barkley, I don't get the Barkley link. I really don't.
But he's not going to play it.
You can't pass an article for a start.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I don't. It's not like, and people will probably say, "Oh, but use both Oxlade-Chamberlain," and yes, I get it. I understand totally, but I prefer Oxlade-Chamberlain than Barkley. It might speak.
Interesting news just coming out there that Ross Barkley has just rejected Chelsea. Tottenham Hotspur obviously were linked with him. However, Tottenham Hotspur have a much better alternative in the form of Andre Gomez, who hasn't quite done it at Barcelona, but who wants to go to Tottenham.
Yeah,
another great addition to a
40
midfield
million.
that we say needs further.
I don't think he'll be. I don't think he'll probably be better on the ball now. When his time at Barcelona hasn't gone too well, but he is a good footballer. He'd be better on the ball than the likes of Wanyama and Dyer. But still their best midfielder, centre midfielder for me is Dembele anyway. I don't know if he's the player they need, but again, Spurs getting someone else in, it could be just enough. They've got the fullback in and our centre half. It could.
The problem that they had, I think Dele Alli in an interview referred to this last Sunday. They conceded in the 92nd minute. Chris Wood scored a goal, as I sort of guessed he might do. Plenty of for Burnley. They conceded a goal. They had dominated possession, and they needed someone with a little bit more intricacy in the midfield, and that is something that Andre Gomez would bring to the team. So
the best midfield transfer for me, anyway, and I know for you, because you're going to go mad, Ronaldo Sanchez to Swansea. That's going to be class to watch. I nearly went and got a Portugal top on my lunchtime and was going to get Sanchez in the back, because just to see him in the Premier League, this young, unbelievable talent, get going as well.
And the great thing about it is that Bayern Munich have trusted Paul Clement, because of the links with Carlo Ancelotti, to give this young talent game time. At
the minute, they don't see him as a Bayern Munich player, but they think that he obviously has that much talent that he could go there, develop, and it's win-win. If he has an unreal season at Bayern Munich, but they also have a couple of they'll probably by this time next year buy Pulisic and all this here nonsense, and I can't even think of a centre midfield that's young that's doing amazing. Anyway, they'll have someone in. They could just go, well, we could get about 30 million for Ronaldo Sanchez here and make the money back.
That's right.
Or they could get a player back that has started to hit his potential and they're flying now.
And Ronaldo Sanchez might just love Swansea, and
you hope so anyway.
Hero.
Love Swansea but join Arsenal.
But here, what about Wilfred Boney? Last week I hinted that he might.
He did actually say that last week. Going to Swansea,
and he still hasn't been completed.
He's doing his medical, isn't he?
He's doing his medical.
I'd say Llorente's helping through his medical.
He's been very protected.
Once that medical is approved, then he can go off to Spurs. So Llorente's probably giving him a rub down and everything, and making sure he passes everything.
That's it. But here, good power there in the attacking midfield with Ronaldo Sanchez, Boney up front.
Ronaldo Sanchez, they've got Sam Glucas in as well. Tammy Abraham's there, so
who scored a goal, and I hope he goes well. You know.
Yeah, and they won one of our predictions. You got it right. I got it completely wrong.
Yeah. But here, Frank de Boer is under serious pressure, and the pressure has told in terms of, I suppose, his willingness and his eagerness to get Mamadou Sakho signed.
Yeah.
And he got it. He's got the deal done. So hopefully he'll play as well as he did last season.
He will. He will. He will. That thing. It was interesting that just to hear more Crystal Palace fans talking. Obviously, De Boer's come in to try and play a certain way, and they just don't want it anymore. They've been 3 games in. They're just like, go back to playing like Sam Allardyce.
Bring Pulis back.
Yeah, bring Pulis or Sam back. But I think they'll be all right. It's international week.
Yeah. Sorry, just before we go there, who do you think has had the best window going on the business that's been done so far? Which club?
I don't think anyone's had a brilliant window. I think if Liverpool they might do in the next 2.5 hours. I highly doubt it. If they'd have got Southampton to let a fee go for Van Dijk, then I think we would have had the best window. But I don't know. I don't think anyone's done had an unbelievable window. Yeah. United had a good window, I suppose.
They brought their players in early now. Lindelof.
He'll give him time.
He'll be alright. He'll be okay.
When Vidic arrived, I don't think Vidic was too hot, and then he turned out alright.
Yeah.
No, I think probably at the minute United. If Man City managed to get Sanchez, then you'd have to say they've had a very good
Bernardo Silva as well.
PSG have probably had the best window out of everyone.
That's it.
They managed to get a loan for Kylian Mbappe, because that's not illegal or anything. Nothing funny going on there.
Big sign tonight too for breaking news for Lurgan Celtic. Stephen Campbell, Armagh County player.
Sippy, the same for Celtic. There you go.
So there you can say that we also bring you the local transfer news.
There you go, a bit of local transfer news. I think who's had the worst window is probably someone like West Ham, who just decided to sign one of the worst goalkeepers in the world, and he just keeps conceding goals.
I would say that Slaven Bilic is under severe pressure. I just want to make a point about West Brom's window. They've kept, obviously, I think they've kept Johnny Evans, even though Northern Ireland this week were training at Manchester City's training complex. The medical could be done, they could just be awaiting a large bid. If they keep him, they've got Krakowiak, they brought in Barry to midfield, they've added great strength and depth to the midfield. They will do well this year, I think,
I just seen there in the corner of my eye that Ryan Kent has joined Freiburg, the Rugby player, on a season-long loan.
And Sancho got the number 7 shirt from Man City. The youngster from Man City is signed for 170,000 for Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah, Sancho Yadun or something, isn't it? He's meant to be a really prestigious talent.
He was at Manchester City. Arsenal, Manchester United were linked with him. But why wouldn't you go to Borussia Dortmund with their, I suppose, prestigious name at developing these young players?
We'll give the international games a quick rattle to finish off our little video this week. As I said, I think we're in Northern Ireland v Czech Republic on Monday night, so mucho excited about that. I think Northern Ireland could potentially a draw there. I could see them get guaranteed second place if results go their way tomorrow night. There's an interesting game on now. I don't think has it started yet. I'm not sure. France v the Netherlands. But what other games stand out for you there? Sort of.
Well, the big game I would say there is that Northern Ireland need a big win against San Marino.
And the no centre halves.
Well, Johnny Evans, no.
Well, sorry, Johnny Evans, but he's on his own.
Well, okay then. Well, Arsenal played with no man at the back. So one man will be an improvement. San Marino need a big win. 3 points. They're 4 points above Czech Republic as it sits in the play. Czech Republic next at Windsor Park. So they need to get a good result.
Czech Republic play Germany as well, so you're hoping Germany
just take that group. Northern Ireland are in a very good position.
Very Republic. Georgia and Republic of Ireland.
Serbia are playing at home.
Yeah.
They're going to win against Moldova.
You'd think so.
So Republic of Ireland, who play Serbia next week, need to beat Georgia away, and that is a tough place to go.
Yeah, they were there before, and Aidan McGee scored a cracker.
That's right.
But yeah, if they don't win that, you'd imagine they're going to come under the cosh, and it's going to be really tight during the week then. I think Italy and Spain play as well at some point.
They do. They play this week. Yeah,
they play this week. Is that
Saturday or something?
Right, that should be a cracking game too.
Should be, but both teams wouldn't be at the top of their game at the minute.
No, Spain have brought that Villa back. And given the number 7.
New York City still scoring goals. He was a player that I always wanted Arsenal to sign.
Yeah, I thought when Rafa came to us, I thought it was going to be inevitable then.
Because he would have linked up with Fernando Torres.
And plus the Valencia link, I think he was at Valencia. Rafa might have had him 1 year, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, but he played there with David Silva and at Valencia. Interesting that they brought him back. Spain are at home.
I think so, yeah.
So,
that should be an interesting game. It's going to be the first time Bonucci's played with Bazzagli and Chiellini since he's left. I'm sure they'll be dead on him because he's an absolute god.
Yeah, I'd say that.
They signed a good centre half actually. Juve. I'm surprised.
Nobody has one. Benedict Huides.
Benedict Huides or I can't pronounce his name, but you can go for it again. But Big Benedict has gone to Juve.
He formerly of Schalke.
Yeah,
good player.
Very good player. Schalke said to let him go because he can't really pass the ball that well. That's what the Schalke coaches supposedly said. Well, but he can defend and
neither can Chiellini, but Juventus aren't complaining about that.
No,
he'll fit in well there.
I think he'd be very good. I'm surprised, Liverpool, if they were so desperate after a centre half that they didn't at least inquire about him. If they didn't think they were going to get Van Dijk done.
That's right. Do you think that Juventus will win the Serie A again?
No.
Do you think AC Milan or Inter?
I think Napoli will win the Serie A.
Napoli?
I want Napoli to win the Serie A. I'll change that. I want Napoli to win the Serie A.
Right.
I watched them the other night, and we haven't even wrote this down, but this is a nice little topic to go into because I love my European football. I watched them the other night against Atalanta, I think it was. Right. Yeah. And they were 1-0 down, but they came into it 1-2-1, and they're just you think and again, I'm trying to talk about them again. You think Liverpool breaking fast was quick on Sunday? This Napoli team are something else. They are something else. They're going to be a joy to watch. Keep an eye out on them in the Champions League if you get a chance. If you can't watch them in the Serie A, they're going to be a joy to watch. They are brilliant going forward. So quick, and they're quite small as well, actually.
So much more difficult for those big defenders to
exactly.
stop
Yeah, and they look like they'll be a real treat in the Champions League. Now, my dark horses to do a Monaco this year in the Champions League.
Monaco.
To do a Monaco is going to be no way Monaco
Oh
last year.
yeah.
It will be Napoli. I think Napoli will do. I think it'll be dark horses.
That's
Who
it.
do you think will win Serie A?
I think Juventus are still the most. Well, I know they've lost Bonucci, who's arguably one of their best defender, perhaps.
Probably the best.
He's gone to AC Milan. AC Milan have done a lot of buying. I wouldn't say they've got the best continuity in terms of their team. The balance, that'll take time. I still think Juventus will win the Serie A.
Just on internationals, Argentina potentially starting tonight, I think it is, with Messi, Dybala and Icardi as their front three. Yeah, that's tasty, isn't it now? And Argentina need to win.
Yeah.
They're in big diffs. They're fifth, I think, in their standings, and that would mean they are going to go into a playoff. You wouldn't fancy getting in the playoff anyway, but they need to win. But their front three is ridiculous. That is frightening.
I'm glad Arsenal only had to deal with Mane, Salah and Firmino.
Yeah, because that would have been frightening.
But I see there Leicester are going to sign Adrian Silva if Danny Drinkwater leaves.
You'd imagine if they're signing Silva that Drinkwater's going to be announced.
Drinkwater's gone. I would say it's Chelsea.
Good addition in Chelsea.
Good addition is right. 15 million for Adrian Silva.
15 or 50.
15.
It's cheap now, and it's mad that we're saying that's cheap.
Yeah.
That'll probably do us for the Thursday Football Babble show, which comes out on a Friday night. I'll have to change that probably. But yeah, you enjoy that this week, Jake? You got the vent about Arsenal.
I know.
We
plenty more ventings to come, I'd say, going by their recent performance, but let's hope they'll improve. You know?
I think they will. We're going to shoot off now and watch the second half of
France. Netherlands. France are winning 1-0. Griezmann has scored. Of course. And I'm just reading here that Arsenal have put in a £200 million bid for Griezmann. But sure, they'll probably play him in right back because they don't play players in the right position when they sign him. So
we're off now to watch that and the end of the transfer window, but make sure you watch us. Catch us on Facebook at The Sports Babble, Twitter at The Sports Babble, YouTube obviously at The Sports Babble. Tweet, like, share, comment, subscribe, all of it. Do all of it and help us out. But
and enjoy the rest of the deadline day.
Enjoy the rest of your deadline day, even though we're coming at you tomorrow night, which is Friday night, but you know what I mean, back to the future and all that nonsense. But cheers for joining in and watching.
Good luck. Good night.